Let's see then what the brain feeds on. Because if you have understood how important brain nutrition is, you will realize that everything we do with that brain from a nutritional standpoint will generate and impact our mental and emotional well-being. As I always say, the brain is a great gourmet that doesn't eat everything, but worse still, often what we ingest that is not suitable for it can cause neurotoxicity. By the way, I don't know if you have seen, I have published 3 books, and some of the things I mention here are in some of my books. That's why I have included some covers there. Well, here you have the brain food pyramid, so to speak. This pyramid is obviously not complete, but it does give us an idea of some of the foods you can note for your brain shopping list. Here you have brightly colored foods. All natural antioxidants, polyphenols, etc., can be good allies as protectors and cleansers of that brain. Since it breathes a lot, it also generates a lot of respiratory waste, and that waste can generate oxidative stress. So everything that consists of these brightly colored sediments will also generate better brain cleansing. In the Mediterranean diet, in fact, as we will discuss now, we have precisely a large proportion of these types of foods, which also provide a high fiber content, along with seeds and legumes that you have here, which in the right proportion are great allies of our second brain, in quotes, which is the gut microbiota. Well, you also have an important representation of fats, especially unsaturated fats, that come from marine and freshwater sources. Also, from vegetable oils, that is, from seed and plant oils, in the right proportion. We will discuss this now. Note, there are also infusions. Let's see. Here I put a glass of red wine, mainly because it is abundant in polyphenols and resveratrol as a natural antioxidant. But we all know that alcohol is toxic to the brain. In some way, the Mediterranean diet includes a glass of red wine, but it is clearly not essential for brain health. And of course, all oils, especially our Spanish liquid gold, olive oil, which is a great ally of brain health, and, well, other foods like eggs, cereals, chocolate can be included. But be careful, without sugar, and all kinds of herbs. Okay? That is to say, the Mediterranean diet itself. In this disc, I have provided a bit of the daily proportion of some perfect diet for the brain. Here you have this proportion, which would mainly be from fish. Well, when I say fish, it can also include seafood. That is, it can be seaweed. Be careful with the proportion of seaweed in people who have thyroid problems. And obviously, for those who can afford it, everything related to seafood and shellfish. Then we have a high proportion of vegetables, and in a lower proportion, attention to legumes, which have a high content of fiber, slow digesting carbohydrates, and also precursors of neurotransmitters for neuronal communication. Fruits, especially those of bright colors, nuts, very interesting, grains, and seeds. And then notice, regarding meats, the proportion drops quite a bit. And this would be the percentage of red meat that is not essential for the brain. And then lean meat in a slightly higher proportion. So, well, you have lean meats here at 5%. In short, this would be the shopping list in daily proportions for a healthy brain all year round. Scientifically proven. I was telling you about unsaturated fats. Let's look at the omegas that we all know. There is omega-6, omega-3, omega-9. Some of them are essential. In what sense? In that the brain needs them for its functioning, but it produces them in very low proportions. In fact, humans produce a very low proportion of those omegas that they need. So a healthy proportion, healthy brain of those fats would be 4 of omega-6 for 1 of omega-3. What are omega-6s? Oils from the land, all seed oils, olive oil, sunflower oil, all oils, let's say, from land products. And then omega-3s would be oils, products from the sea, all of them unsaturated, which must be in a proportion. That is, it is not useful to take many land oils and not take any sea oils. That is, they must be in a proportion of 4 to 1 that already existed in many ancestral diets. However, in many cases, in the Western diet of today's humans, there are very disproportionate diets. And this has already been scientifically proven to cause problems at the brain level, such as depression, confusion, discouragement, insomnia, attention disorders, etc. Okay? So it is important that the fat in the brain is in its proper proportion. And another interesting aspect for those who have very low animal product diets. It's interesting to know that if you want to consume omega-3s, you fundamentally have three important ones. Here you have alpha-linolenic acid, eicosapentaenoic acid, and docosahexaenoic acid. And to obtain these, which are complex fatty acids, it is not enough to just eat walnuts, almonds, pistachios, etc. But we also need to incorporate seafood products because humans do not produce these from the latter. So omega-3s cannot meet the basic needs of the brain solely with nuts. Okay, some alternatives, as I was saying, for those who consume little omega-3. Well, there are some plants, now Salicornia, for example, I bring it up because it is being cultivated mainly in the south of Spain, in Andalusia, and it is one of the plants that are also rich in omega-3. And this one in particular is from an area with a high degree of salinity. These are the proportions of the essential omega-3s that we need each day. Notice that children need quite a bit, but the elderly do too. In old age, it is also necessary to consume those unsaturated fats. And in particular, an interesting stage is the gestation period of a woman, because at that moment, she not only has to preserve her brain, but she is also nurturing the formation of a new brain, which entails significant metabolic strain for the mother to generate a new brain that is very demanding for those unsaturated fats. As I always say, consuming few omega-3s during pregnancy can even lead to mood alterations in the mother afterwards.